Dr. Bottazzi, first I've got to say congratulations on your nomination for a Nobel Peace Prize. I have to say I have never in my life visited with someone who has been nominated for that. So it is an honor for me, and certainly an honor that you're taking time away from the important work that you're doing at Texas Children's and Baylor College of Medicine. So thank you so much for your time.
Well, first of all, thank you, Kelly, for inviting me. I'm one of your biggest fans. You know that, right? You know, it's amazing all that you do too, right? And I have to say, I've never also been in the presence of anyone being nominated for anything. So it is even just very humble for me to have received those news with Peter for our team. So we're just thrilled. If you look at the microbiological sciences, which of course is a discipline that it's fascinating in itself, you know, it does have a lot of that, you know, not only laboratory bench requirement, field-based, you know, requirement, and really putting together these concepts of, you know, what are these bugs? What do they do in our body? How can we investigate them in the lab, in the field? What are they doing? And how can we, of course, tackle them? So it requires a lot of curiosity, which maybe is one of my first C's that you'll start hearing from me.
Yes, curiosity. You know what? That's kind of, I like that term even better than perseverance, because there's so many layers. Once you discover something, I'm sure that the next question quickly comes to mind. So curiosity is great.
And I think as women, we, for history, always struggle to try to, of course, be recognized, you know, to be able to vote, you know, to contribute in science. But at the end of the day, I think we've made a strong case that we are amazing contributors, right? Not only intellectually, but also with the fact that we are empathetic, that we are able to maybe have a different perception of, you know, how things should work or how we should resolve, you know, the issues. Because if I started with that sea of curiosity, I think we also bring our ability of being cognizant, at the same time being very courageous, because probably women are put into very difficult situations throughout our lives, right? Even historically. So there you go, cognizant and courageous.
I love that. I love that. I will be quoting you on that. How does that devotion that is reflected in how you're making this vaccine available, how does that reflect what has always motivated your work?
You know, it's very interesting that you bring up this notion that, you know, people maybe are always perceived that, you know, working in business or even in the private sector, that there's always a drive that has to be purely economic, right? But there's many ways how you can define, you know, the return on an investment, right? Even economically. And I arguably would say that if you protect and increase and improve the health of an individual, you eventually will make that individual more productive and eventually will give back to society, right? I do come from a family of business people. I mean, I'm the only one that is, you know, a little bit nerdy scientist, but we always learn from my dad, from my mom, from my, you know, family, my grandparents, that you can still use these concepts of, you know, business and certainly, you know, management in general to do what it's really good, right? How you're leveraging this knowledge to really enable, you know, the wealth or the health, you know, in our case of people. Yes, we did a lot of the legwork with creation of the technology, but we removed barriers to the point where when we handed it over, it automatically became their vaccine. And of course, we were invited to actually help in that co-development, But at the end of the day, it was India's vaccine. And India in itself said, but this is a vaccine that actually will fit very well into becoming the world vaccine.
And that's where I see your father's influence as a diplomat on your work even today. And on behalf of everyone, I thank you for your curiosity, and I will be rooting for you when they announce the winners of the Nobel Peace Prize. And thank you again so much for your time today.